BPod Studios.
It's the all-new Dutcher and Hardy.
Whatever, man.
On 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Hey, everybody. It's the Dutcher and Hardy Show. On the Sports Hub, brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook. Make every moment more with FanDuel. Tom Brady has been in the news. He has 4 ovens in a kitchen that he sits in while he talks to people. And by the way, congratulations to NBC Sports Boston. Speaking of people broadcasting from home, for the Eddie House, you would never know he's not there.
Yeah, it's the camera is really high quality. The lighting is good.
When it's worse than 70s porn, it was shot on film, so I guess that's a bad example. But, I mean...
It doesn't have that grainy film-like quality to it, though. It's kind of like a behind-the-green-doors situation.
Oh, Marilyn Chambers. She was the Ivory Soap girl.
I never saw it, but I did see a clip of Behind the Green Door in the movie Cannonball Run. They're watching it in the back of one of the cars.
I never saw Behind the Green Door either, but it looks terrible. It looks like one of them art porns. All right. So Tom Brady was all over everything, Hardy.
There's so much going on with Tom Brady yesterday. So we got a bit of a Tom Brady grab bag here. The first news that came out yesterday is that the TB12 brand, which I thought was just taking over the world. Never mind the fact that you can get TB12 shirts at TJ Maxx for $1.
You know, but I'm going to let you go, but just I don't know if you know who he's partnering with. Just get ready, because it's pretty. Earmuffs for your kids. Here we go.
Tom Brady is merging his health and nutrition and apparel brands with No Bull.
None.
Beep.
No bull.
Beep.
Keep your bull on the side, because I don't want none of it. Mm-hmm. So you would think already, like, No Bull doesn't need Tom Brady, because, I mean, everyone is wearing No Bull stuff everywhere.
Yeah.
And every time I go to the gym, it's like this guy doesn't put up with any nonsense.
No guff, no silliness, no shenanigans. No Bull.
And so I knew TB12 and I knew No Bull, and then you put them together, and now it's just like, wow, this is going to fail. No, this is something else.
Well, and again, No Bull seems to be doing okay.
I don't even have any idea what No Bull is, except it's the dumbest name of all time.
It's an apparel company repped by one Mac Jones last year.
He put up with plenty of it.
Yep.
His coach wouldn't talk to him, so that I don't align with it. No Bull sounds like the Tommy Bahama for Mad Dads. Like Tommy Bahama's like Vacation Dad, but if you're like around the house, No Bull.
No Bull.
Like you just wear it, like, and your kids come up to you and like, Dad, like, take me to the movies. You just point to it. No Bull.
No Bull.
No Bull. Daddy's gotta have his happy sauce.
No Bull.
No Bull, baby.
I saw a bunch of No Bull shoes at Dick's because I'm into this routine.
I would figure
with my son on weekends where I have to kill time while he's doing something next door to a Dick's, and I'm like, all right, so I just go to Dick's. What else am I going to do?
It's a place where the cool hang out.
Yeah, so I'm there like every Saturday just hanging out, and I saw these No Bull shoes. I'm like, hey, I can always use a pair of sneakers, but I don't know that I'm going to wear any of these. And the people who have them swear by them.
Yeah, you're a sneakerhead, obviously. No Bull. I mean, all the cool kids are wearing No Bull.
And New Balance. No Bull and New Balance.
There's a bunch of New Balances that are cool.
I wear New Balance.
On the secondary
cool.
market, you can get New Balance. I mean, New Balances cost $1,000 on the secondary market.
Yeah.
I know. Let's go. I'm going to look it up.
Okay.
I'm going to look up on a secondary shoe site.
Anyway, Brady is going to be the number 2 shareholder in No Bull, behind Body Armor founder Mike Ripoll.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mike Ripoll, who is the Da Vinci of garbage clothes.
He bought No Bull last year
for $1 billion. Just for the rights to the website name.
But it was founded by a couple of Reebok guys, like, I don't know, 9 years ago. They're Boston-based.
You know what I want to do
them.
is latch my wagon to the Reebok Corporation.
So That's what they're doing.
They've been reinventing the wheel. You know, when I think of sneakers, the first thing that comes to mind is Reebok. I have a pair of Reeboks, though. The straight up white original Reeboks are kind of dope.
Brady said, I think the piece that really resonates with me is our mindset and how we want to inspire others through action and through challenging them to be the best they can possibly be for themselves. I understand.
Turns take their money.
These are the things you have to do when you're starting a company and launching a carol, but it's clothes. It's clothes. I mean, short of Amazon, are you really going to change the way people live and how and what they do and how they live their lives?
Well,
it's clothes and it's shoes.
It's streetwear, and it's the guy who represents the streets, Tom Brady, and Reebok.
Also, Tom Brady has a couple of game-used Super Bowl touchdown balls going to auction. Yes. But somebody snuck in and put liquid heat on those jocks. And do they burn if you put them on right now.
Yeah, because who's the joke on? I mean, root against the guys that didn't put the cameras in the sorority house to watch the women shower.
That's right. And then, I mean, it's so uncomfortable, you forget to practice. And you just run in and take off those jocks.
If you put hot sauce in my underwear, I mean, I told you guys I ate a hot pepper, or I had pepper on my hands the other day, and then I went to the bathroom and I got it on myself. And it was mildly uncomfortable. I could deal with it. I mean, it's nothing like the gonorrhea.
2 balls from the Patriots Seahawks Super Bowl going up for sale. One caught by Rob Gronkowski in the first half. The other one to Danny Amendola later in the game, and they are expected to go for
$800,000.
No. $75,000.
Almost $1 million is what they're reportedly going to go for.
No.
Yeah. Well.
I bet you they don't.
Okay.
How many balls?
The Gronkowski.
How many balls?
2.
Do you think they'll have these?
You can run.
I can if you didn't bite it. If you didn't bite, I can't do it. Go ahead. What else? Tom Brady's got 4 ovens.
The Gronkowski ball.
He was on the Pat McAfee show, and Pat McAfee laid him into the No Bull brand. Like, he just was like, I heard you have this great company that you're doing this great thing. It's like, Pat, you master.
You're getting to the point of just being sick. Like, I'm tired of Bill Belichick talking to me like I'm a 23-year-old. Because that was kind of the lingering at the end of your... I respect the fact. All right, Bill, I'm sick of this. Okay, I am a father now. I've made it. Is that real, or do you think a lot of this stuff that kind of got said at the end of your run at New England with you and Bill kind of got taken out of context or kind of misunderstood?
What the hell is that question?
That was all one question.
What the hell is that question?
That was all one question, and that was edited.
Huh?
It was longer than that.
I don't want to listen to it again.
Yeah, I think first of all, you said like, to be one of the guys. That's what I always enjoyed more than anything about playing competitive sports was what I was doing with the guys. So none of that felt like that was a stretch for me. I loved hanging out with my teammates.
But when he retired and thrust open his shirt and he had boobs, he said, "You're not just one of the guys."
Oh, yeah, and I'm Cyndi Lauper. Why did the script supervisor not rush in and say, it's Lauper? Everyone knows it's Cyndi Lauper. We're going to cut.
And Tom Brady's brother
Lauper
is allowed to have all those nude women taped to his wall.
Oh, yeah. And I'm Cyndi Lauper.
And obviously my respect for Coach Belichick is pretty well documented. He was an incredible leader and coach for our team. And I tried to do my best every single day that I took the field. I knew that he did the same thing, and I think that's why I respected his coaching so much. So toward the later part of my career, I really think there was so much people just trying to create some division. Most of it was untrue, but it's just the way the world works. And naturally, I think division from within is a big problem in these team environments. And I don't like seeing any dysfunction in team environments. I want everyone seeing things through one set of eyes, through one goal, through one vision, one mission, what we're trying to do with No Boy.
Hey! You say with No Bull?
Yes, that's what they're trying to do. I'm going to bring this back.
You wily fox.
Bring it back.
Check you out.
Oh God, it's insufferable.
There's going to be 0 Bull.
Oh God.
So you're saying is just no.
So Tom Brady had he is a real master. So he had constructed his whole answer because he knew he was going to be asked about Belichick to come around to no bull. So what he does is he gives you such a benign, boring answer that you've completely lost interest.
Yep. I can't.
And then at
wait.
the end, he ties it into his product. So he lets you know his product is really uninteresting.
I can't wait for him to be on TV every week.
Did anyone fight me when we started talking about his clothing and I said no one's going to buy any of this?
No one fought you on that. No,
good.
no one fought you on that.
Everyone agreed because I said this is ridiculous. Yeah. Like, this isn't cool. None of this is cool.
Well, Brett Gilmore, the sales guy, bought a ton of it. Did he really? Oh, he's decked out head to toe in TB12 stuff.
Yeah, so like I said, no one cool has it. I don't know who that guy is, but no,
yeah,
but
you do. You know Brett.
I'm sure I do. But but this is not the way that brands blow up. This is not the way that you get clothing to blow up. And I have a feeling that you could put something that says no bull on the coolest person in the world, and it's not going to sell. It's a terrible, terrible brand name.
But the TB12 thing, I respect his desire if what he really wanted to do
was make money.
No.
Under the guise.
What he really wanted to do
I don't think he was bettering the world there, Hardy. I think it was just someone came to us and here's what
extend
we do.
athletes' careers and make everybody feel better and teach everyone how to stretch. And if he thought he had really tapped into the fountain of youth, that's fine. But from a business model standpoint, someone should have taken him aside and say, this is never going to work. What works is a shot. What works is Ozempic. That works because you don't have to do anything. Your TB12 stuff requires work by the person. You have to stretch. Stretching sucks.
Yeah,
no one likes stretching, and if you're going to tell people as part of your whole methodology here that stretching is the key, you might as well just save yourself a whole bunch of time and energy right now because people ain't going to do it.
Yeah, unless it's medicinal, people aren't going to want it. Unless they live by the no bull lifestyle, which is take your crap and keep it over there.
He also went to Australia, Tom Brady did, as part of this whole tour that you could actually buy a seat on the plane for this speaking tour.
How much?
Well,
$1 trillion.
I was just
it's only available.
It's got to be at least $5,000, if not $10,000.
You know what? I thought it was actually pretty reasonable. You got a second row seat on the plane as part of his An Evening with Tom Brady speaking tour. And people were allowed to travel with him on the private jet. You got a signed jersey, a photo op, tickets sold at $4,000 each. I think you probably had to pay for the airfare on top of that. Least expensive seat starting at this was
what the hell are you talking about?
The speaking tour. That was actually just for the speaking tour. You couldn't if you wanted to be on the flight, that cost a lot more. But you could actually get on this whole charter thing and be a part of the entire tour. A speaking tour in Australia.
You're on the plane with them?
No. I thought it was at first.
What the hell are you talking about?
The $4,000 was a seat at one of the events, a photo op with Tom Brady, and...
All right. Well,
I misspoke.
I don't understand what you're talking about.
I misspoke.
It's $4,000 to get a picture with Tom Brady, essentially.
And a signed jersey.
Okay. All right. I don't care anymore.
They're in Australia. Don't you hear men at work in the background?
Shut
up.
I don't want to.
Shut up.
It's time to break. I've had too much Tom Brady. I can't do it.
Got a new friend.
He's talking to a kangaroo.
All right. I don't care. All right.
I care desperately.
All right, we were breaking. All right, there is a theory that the Boston...
You just talked all over Alex Guerrero. All right, I'm done.
I am. I will talk all over him because I'm not putting up with any bull. You blew the plane story. I didn't know what you were talking about anymore.
I didn't know what I was talking about either.
For $4,000, you can ride on a private plane with Tom Brady? I don't think so.
To Australia? No.
That seems like
I should have stopped myself 10 seconds into that. I had it wrong.
Like a very intimate setting to be with someone for 20 hours on a plane to Australia. You might as well move in with the guy. He's got 4 ovens.
Second row seat at the speaking engagement, not on the plane.
No.
Not on the plane.
There's a big difference between being in an audience and being
in a
tube in the sky over an ocean.
Blame the stupid Daily Mail for writing a very confusing story.
Yeah. I'm going to say that that's a private plane over the Pacific Ocean for the duration of the Pacific Ocean is not something that you are going to get for $4,000. And I would think there would be a major vetting process. I certainly would want one. Because, I mean, you get a psycho in there. I mean, you're at his will. I mean, there's nothing I can do. We're in very close quarters in a very precarious situation.
$4,000 just to hear him talk.
Yeah, well, that seems much more reasonable. That seems like the Tom Brady thing, considering they're looking for $100,000 for a Super Bowl used ball, which I got to imagine the market for is just limited to rich Patriot fans. So I'm not betting $100,000 on that.
You're not a Patriots fan.
No, if it was a Jets ball, then $100,000 is the bottom, and I would take no bull. I'd tell Jeeves to bid. All right, we will be back. The Globe says to take this seriously. They say it sounds, and they might be right. Maybe you should take this seriously. But there is a big-time television network that's saying, be wary of the Super Bowl. We'll have that for you in just a moment.
BackstageCountry.com, your online home for all things country music. Award-winning movies often have incredible soundtracks, and many of those have gone on to become country gold. We've picked our top 5 country songs that have been nominated for an Oscar. Text Oscar to 45911 to see if your favorite made the list on BackstageCountry.com. Text Oscar to 45911 and we'll send the link straight to your phone.
On the air,
online, on the air.
This is how Boston sports fans start their day. Toucher and Hardy on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Oh, hey there. How are you?
What is it? Is this a new character? What are you doing?
Yeah, I am the ghost of a dead lady in Minneapolis. Wow. There's a big recovery community around here. On the account of Hazleton. We got a lot of junkies.
Sounds like someone maybe you encountered on one of your travels.
No. I was in Hazleton. They kicked me out because of the COVID. And then I had to dick around Hazleton for 2 days.
Oh, all right. All right. Now,
yeah, now
I'm looped in. I got it now.
No, I didn't know why I was doing that voice. It just came to me. It was brilliant. It's like, I mean, do you believe in the spirit world?
Sure.
That spirit just came in me. Oh, no.
Really?
No, Prince didn't do I don't know the scandalous sex suite. No.
All right. It's not like every character in Fargo, which Adam 12 told me to watch this most recent season of. And the accents are so over the top. I'm like, okay, I get it. You're all in this. All right, Minnesota. Okay.
Yeah. Minnesota.
So, scandalous sex suite. That's the tour guide at Paisley Park.
You were there. We went to the tour of Prince's Paisley Park, and I just was trying to glean something out of the whole event.
She was the most unqualified person we could have possibly got.
I would say it's straight up ignorant about the man's career.
Had no idea what she was talking about.
So the scandalous sex suite is something that is in existence. It exists in the cover of it is Prince and Kim Basinger, and it's whatever stuff that you don't care about from Prince is playing, but during it he's having sex with Kim Basinger with the mics on, like Rocket Queen.
Well, but they're recording the Batman soundtrack.
Okay. Oh, yeah. So I didn't remember that detail, but sure. So you know about it.
Yeah.
So that proves that we haven't talked about this. Is just an organic conversation. But Rocket Queen, during Rocket Queen, Axl's having sex with the Rocket Queen lady during it. That's why you hear the moans. They put it in the actual song. So this scandalous sex suite was on the low, released by Prince. And you can listen to it. So I go to the lady. So we're at the Paisley Park Studios where the Scandalous Sex Suite was recorded. At least I thought it was. And I'm like, is this where they did Scandalous Sex Suite? So you would think Hardy would know. He knows it was during the Batman session. So he knows, like off the top of his head.
Scandalous.
That's right.
So he actually knows the songs.
Marvelous.
And this chick that's taking us around the Paisley Park is like, no. And not only did she not know, she was like offended.
Yeah.
Because she's like, scandalous sex suite. And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, he was like having sex with Kim Basinger apparently in the studio. And she's like, no.
She's like 25 4 years old, and this is like during Super Bowl week. Everybody's in town. Everyone's touring the place. Everyone is you're funneling people in and out of there, and she was the worst possible. She took us into a big room. You know, Prince's Purple Rain bike has its own room. And she walked us through that room like the bike wasn't even there.
By the way, she's a tour guide of Prince who's offended by sex, which is a little bit of maybe you're in the wrong place.
Unbelievable.
That'd be like working for the OAN network and being offended by what's right in the world. So here is the OAN network. You might have heard this by now. But people are upset about the Super Bowl because of Taylor Swift, which you didn't know was coming. This has come out of nowhere. A, that Kansas City would make the Super Bowl, or that Taylor Swift was involved in it. Now people are upset. So now you really can't be upset because now lunatics are upset about it. So now you have to like Taylor Swift. This is all going to end so bad for Kelsey. Is in way over his head. I almost feel sorry for him now. Like a business opportunity, and maybe he really likes her. But this is not ending well. This is going to end terribly. This is going to be, there's going to be such a despicable backlash against him. And just in the world we live in, you really can't avoid it. He wants to be in media, and he's going to have to be on social media, and everything he ever does that's released on the internet everything is just going to be this bastion of hate.
He's so locked into that relationship, he can never break up with her. Because if he does, it's all over.
No, it's like Triple H and Stephanie with McMahon. Like he started dating her when she was 27, and she went on Stern, and she's like, "Yeah, he can't break up with me." Like she wasn't in character, and she wasn't kidding. She's like, "If Triple H breaks up with me, like my dad will punish him. Like if he wants a career in wrestling, this is the only place to do wrestling." Really? No, it's not. No. It really is. And so here you go. All right. So anyway, OAN is a network that looks like Eddie House is set up when he does NBC Sports Boston. They got a lot of hot water with the voting machines, and so I think it pretty much bankrupted them. But maybe they'll sue me to make the money back for saying that. But here is this lady on it doesn't matter what her name is, but I will tell you because it is kind of funny that this is her name, Allison Steinberg. This is Allison Steinberg, apparently, talking about the Super Bowl.
Isn't it interesting? She just so happens to be...
This is Taylor Swift, obviously.
Isn't it interesting? She just so happens to be dating Kansas City Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce, better known as Mr. Pfizer. Oh, who's now also going to the Super Bowl, which is sponsored by, you guessed it, Pfizer.
So she's taking the thing that Roger said about her being Mr. Pfizer.
Right.
And Pfizer is the sole sponsor of the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl is brought to you by Pfizer.
Right. That it's going to be like limited commercial interruption like the Masters. They're just going to have a couple of Pfizer commercials every 30 minutes or so, and that's it.
It's just Thomas Dolby in a lab jacket with a needle running around chasing people, trying to indoctrinate them.
Good heavens, Miss Sakamoto.
I don't doubt the power of Pfizer, but I can tell you the Super Bowl does not need Pfizer. Pfizer! What if Pfizer was just like, what if they chose the Super Bowl and the halftime show is just a doctor comes on and he's like, you're all left. You're all done. Mm-hmm. The juice is in you.
I'm glad she correctly identified Travis Kelce, though, as Mr. Pfizer. That's the first thing I think about when I think Travis Kelce is like, oh, yeah, Mr. Pfizer.
It's not, though. But that's not her point, Hardy, if I could be so bold as to disagree with you, is you don't think of him as that. That's why Pfizer's, they're in, it's like deep state. Like they've gotten in, they've flown over the wall in the Trojan horse of the relationship
for people
in football.
Who don't watch a lot of OAN, sure.
Well, OAN, if you're watching OAN, you know the truth.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, the Globe has an article out. I'll finish this clip, but why the latest MAGA conspiracy theory about Taylor Swift, the Super Bowl, and the 2024 presidential election matters. And they're not wrong. I mean, how many times did you hear stuff and you're like, wow, this is insane? And then it becomes like part of discourse. So, all right, so this continues.
America's pop star celebrity sweetheart joins forces with the top dog in the NFL, playing for the team that's going to the Super Bowl. I mean, let's be real here. This is bread and circuses on steroids.
This girl's good. She sounds like a big-time host.
She knows what she's doing.
Mm-hmm.
This lady is a professional. Don't say OAN doesn't get the best and brightest.
I mean, let's be real here.
That's good stuff. Put that on the demo reel.
Let's be real. Yeah.
This chick's got to be mortified that this is the thing that's gone viral for her.
Not
so much what she's saying, but she's just such a bad anchor.
I'm going to say she's very proud of this material.
I think that listening back, she's like, I didn't nail this. I'm being dead serious because she's obviously a professional broadcaster, and this is not good. She's not speaking well, and I would know.
This is bread and circuses on steroids. Major League Sports.
Is that a reference to like communism or something? Bread and circuses, like they would give bread and make you go to the circus. What is that a reference to? Do you know?
Nope.
It's over my head. It's too.
It sounds like something Roman.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Or is it something like with Nazis?
Let's see. Bread and circuses.
Let's educate ourselves.
Okay. Referring to superficial appeasement attributed to a Roman poet. Nailed it.
Good
Active
job.
in the late 1st and 2nd early century A.D.
So the OAN people are that well-versed in Roman history?
Yes.
God bless the OAN people.
Major League Sports, in and of itself, is nothing but a psyop. Get kids plugged into the cycle of going to public indoctrination camps, playing sports for their school, and going to games. Many end up devoting their entire childhood to competing in various sports, only to be cut from the team, at which point they become brainwashed into supporting professional teams because they know their dreams of becoming a pro athlete will probably never happen.
Someone didn't make the cheerleading team.
I was just going to say, there's a little pain involved there.
Yeah, someone...
little pain.
Someone grew a little too much for the gymnastics team.
I'm going to get back at all the people who wouldn't let me play.
Yeah, this sounds like a little sour grapes, let's be honest. The indoctrination camp of the NFL.
What would they have us do? Is I guess my other question. Just
not watch OAN.
Spend all your...
Not give her a job at a real network. Hold her feet over the fire.
You're not supposed to play sports. You're not supposed to watch sports.
No, she tells you what you're supposed to do, actually.
Okay,
Funny enough, you asked.
Right. Thank you.
She does tell you what you should do.
What should I do instead?
Well, what do you think Miss Steinberg is going to say?
So then they become obsessed with some grown man who gets paid millions of dollars every year to throw a ball around while promoting poison death shots and child slave labor through various brand deals and endorsements. So sad. Imagine being so brainwashed by sports you actually show up to your team stadium to shovel snow for free.
She's got a point. I mean, that is a good point. They only paid him $20 an hour. That is a good point.
So you can watch a bunch of grown men who are overpaid tackle each other. Seriously.
See, she can't like that. She's got to know that's not good.
She wants to make sure you understand she's above it all.
Yeah, but this isn't, she's not. I mean, John, you know this isn't good. This is very, if I told you this was like Appalachia television, you would be like, okay, the OAN network, this is not a good broadcaster. But let's be honest. But she is right about the Buffalo fans.
Yeah.
That is pretty pathetic.
Who are overpaid tackle each other.
Give it up. Please. What is up with this chick? I like her style. Repping the poison shot. What is up with the K-ball? The cabal. What is up with dopey people following around the ball players into a pit of Satanism? Repping Christ is the way to go. And we are about to get to the part where she brings it all back to JC. Just the way Jesus intended, looking down on people, telling them not to follow the herd. This is a message of peace. When God comes down and reps the chosen ones, and you will all be in a fiery pit of hell while we are dining on grapes on a cloud. Repping the message of Jesus.
Maybe enjoying your bread while you're watching the circus? The bread and circuses?
What is up with the Romans getting people to do zany things? Like take a shot. What is up with Pfizer and the Super Bowl? Travis. This fax just in. Jim Way to nail it down. The government getting us in lockstep, walking like lemmings to a pit of imminent disaster. The Super Bowl is nothing but a government-run cabal. I don't even know how to pronounce C-A-B-A-L. How do you say cabal?
Cabal, I think it is.
Or is it K-A-B-A-L?
I think it's cabal.
Yeah. I don't know anything about it. I'm just trying to sound smart.
Seriously, though,
what's up with the psyop? He's only got one eye. If you look at her, her hair turns to snakes and you will turn to stone. What is up with turning to a pillar of salt?
Seriously, though, trudging through 3 feet of snow amid a massive blizzard just to watch a game? Yeah, sorry, you couldn't pay me to do that. Just imagine for a moment if people were as dedicated to Jesus as they are professional sports.
And that
there we go.
Is Miss Steinberg.
There we go. Back.
She's got a little wall in her.
Steinberg.
Yeah,
okay.
She's Jews for Jesus.
Didn't see that.
You wouldn't see that coming. But I am interested in religion. I really am, and I have yet to find the part where you got to be such a dick. Like, it seems to me that the teachings are to be less of a dick.
Yeah, it's got to be more welcoming. Yeah,
well, and it seems almost like the whole message is to end your internal suffering. This seems like a lot of. It seems it really. I'm not being sarcastic. It seems very opposite to teachings. If you're asking me, my opinion on the whole thing, which you are.
Allison's Twitter profile lists her pronouns as no/thank/you. Jesus equals king.
Oh. So they don't teach you to be dismissive of other people who believe in different things than you do?
I don't think they teach you what pronouns are.
It's actually. Oh, is that what the whole thing is? That was over my head too. I don't. When I got in trouble for the Tebow thing and like all the Jesus people came after me, they were saying things that I didn't know, and my dad had to translate for me. They were calling me Moonbat. And I didn't know that yes. I didn't know that sounded to me like a honeymooners thing. Like,
no.
God of the moon, you bat. You old bat. But Moonbat was like a swear word to them.
Yeah, usually
like the
N-word liberal comes right after that.
It was like the N-word.
Yes.
For liberal. Like that was Moonbat. I didn't know what Moonbat meant. I had to get my dad to translate it to me. I'm like, you speak this language. You tell me, Dad. And he's like, that's not good. He's like, when the people start calling you Moonbat.
Yeah. It was a morning show around. It used to be in Boston that tossed that word around a lot.
Dennis and Callahan.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it was the Herald, too. I needed like a Herald to English dictionary. I'm like, what are Jakes? Oh, those are firefighters.
Yeah, the Herald better be happy it's got Callahan on their team. Because I tell you that Andrew Callahan, not Callahan.
I knew what you meant.
I got it. Andrew Callahan, because that's the only way you're getting that dollar.
Yep.
Because the rest of it is very thin. I mean, the tabloid newspapers they're not very thick anymore. I mean, you're really paying for the Callahan article. You know what I'm saying?
The replies to Allison's Twitter are great. One says, I have to admit, trying to get conservatives to turn against the NFL was not on my bingo card. That's a tough thing to do.
Oh, no, it's not. The people where my dad lived, I told you I played golf with him, and I know we have to break, but I played golf in, like, this summer. And the guy's like, he goes, oh, you're in Sports Talk Radio. And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, Jesus, Kaepernick, huh? And I'm like, whoa. I swear to God, this summer.
Still?
Swear to God, this summer. Oh, it's still a big deal. Still a very big deal. Right. And I'm like, wow, yeah, Kaepernick. And I'm like, going mental Rolodex. Oh, yeah, the whole kneeling thing. Like, that kind of is gone. That's in the past. But, oh, yeah, still real fired up about it. And then it gets all Jesus-y, and then Kaepernick somehow defiled Jesus by getting on a knee. It's all a cabal.
Yeah.
K-ball?
Cabal.
I had a K-ball once. I was disassociated for 18 hours.
K-ball is a ketamine-infused injection.
It's heroin and ketamine. It's just you just sit there staring at a wall in a nightmare. All right, very good. But I have been, what do I know? You're learning something every day. So, but she is right about the morons that shoveled it. You couldn't have got me shoveled for $20 an hour. All right, we'll be right back.
BackstageCountry.com, your online home for all things country music. Wondering who made our list of the top 5 all-time queens of country music? Did Carrie Underwood make the cut? Find out now when you text Queens to 45911 and scroll through the list on BackstageCountry.com. Text Queens to 45911 to see the talented artists who rounded out our top 5 list.
Toucher, Hardy.
You get used to sitting back and letting Daddy drive the car.
98.5 The Sports Hub.
Just so happens to be dating Kansas City Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce, better known as Mr. Pfizer. Oh, who's now also going to the Super Bowl, which is sponsored by, you guessed it, Pfizer. America's pop star celebrity sweetheart joins forces with the top dog in the NFL, playing for the team that's going to the Super Bowl.
Hey, we're Toucher and Hardy, brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook. All right, my question is, make every moment more with FanDuel. Here's my question. So this is honestly, like, if the government's doing stuff to screw us, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, people did use COVID as an excuse to get away with all kinds of stupid crap. So, in my opinion, but my question is this: if the idea is that they want people to vote for Biden by staging this relationship and putting Kansas City in the Super Bowl, here I have a couple questions for you. Why wouldn't they just rig the election? Like, rig it? Like, why would they go through such a elaborate hoax to get people to vote for Biden? Like, why wouldn't you just rig the election? And then second of all, wouldn't it be easier just to have a judge prosecute Trump on one of these federal charges and make him not able to run in the election? Like, wouldn't it be easier to get to one judge and to rig the federal court system than it would be to rig the Super Bowl in the hopes of Taylor Swift getting enough people to vote for Biden, if that's the intention? Like, isn't this like a long way to go? Like, you would have to get Baltimore to throw the game, or the officials to, which I don't think they didn't call the pass interference. So you'd have to get the officials to rig the game, but then have it all play out in the right way. Like, why wouldn't you just rig the election? And, like, if the idea is to get Pfizer to give all this money, why wouldn't you just give Pfizer instead of just getting, why would you even go through the exercise of having Pfizer have to create a false vaccine and make people get it? Why wouldn't you just rig everything in a way that Pfizer would get a bunch of money? Like, give them a bunch of government contracts. Like, just or make a war. Like, go to war and then have Pfizer, make all the medicine for the war effort.
I know what you're saying. And there is no logical explanation.
Isn't there like a million,
there's a million different ways.
The idea is, I don't doubt that there's people in the government that want to rig things so Trump doesn't win. So isn't there a million easier ways to ensure Trump doesn't win than rigging the Super Bowl, inventing a relationship between Kelce and why Kelce? Why Travis Kelce? Why would he? Maybe he's the one they could get to.
I was just going to say Mahomes is already taken. So
for the same reason that I have people reaching out to me telling me that Chris Cornell was an operative for the CIA and that he was actually murdered in that Detroit hotel room because he was investigating child trafficking. And they didn't want the information getting out about the Clintons or something.
But why would they take the ex-singer of Soundgarden? Why wouldn't they get like a bigger star? The best one that I've heard that actually is plausible, this one actually, I went, if you want one, just decide with like the conspiracy theorists. The one that I did like was Tom DeLonge is an agent of the government because they want to like sneakily, like in a slow drip way, get you used to the idea of aliens until they tell you aliens existed. And that actually made kind of sense. Like, because you don't want to just all of a sudden go, dude, there's aliens.
No.
Like, you want to, like, let the news, like, over the course of a few years, like, get people kind of adjusted to it.
Yeah, that way you don't interrupt the broadcast and you have an alien who's searching for some
because you don't want to cause mass hysteria.
Yeah.
That actually makes sense. There's some, like stuff that the government, I think, did that makes sense and is better for us.
There is stuff that the government has done, and this is why I don't completely dismiss anybody or anything like conspiracy theories. Okay, I think it's healthy to think about things and question things. I don't think it's healthy to spend all of your time on YouTube convincing yourself that the Earth is flat or that we didn't go to the moon.
Or also,
I don't think that's a wise use of your time.
Doug Stanhope said something in his newest book that besides making fun of radio, while he does a podcast, which I don't understand. Podcast is an audio form of expression. It's the same thing as radio. It's just the means in which it's transmitted. If you're doing a radio show and crapping on radio, the broadcast medium of audio entertainment, you're doing the same thing. That is not my point, though. Doug Stanhope makes the thing is that he hates the idea of fake news because there's so much actual fake crap that that it's just being used as a way to argue against facts. And I see that. Have you ever seen people talking about something that about you that you? I'll give you an example. There's something about you that is true. I know something about me is true, something that happened. But I'll see online people arguing against facts. And it's about me, and I know what's true. And they're arguing against every fact, and any fact that's presented to them, they'll argue a counter, so you're never going to convince them otherwise. So there is some conspiracy things that you could go, well, this isn't happening because of A, B, and C, and then people just go, no, because you could just go, well, you're making up those facts. No, I don't believe that because these facts that you're telling me are wrong. So there's no convincing those people. But my point is, if anyone was on the fence about, and the Globe is taking this thing seriously, if anyone was on the fence about if this is an elaborate ruse by the government to get you to vote for Biden, wouldn't they just not count your vote? Wouldn't the easiest thing just be to rig the election? Why could they rig the Super Bowl? And my point is, this seems like a long way to go to make us feel important as nothing. All of this seems like a way to make yourself feel important. People are interested in you. And I just think that people are in power are just not overly interested in me or you or anyone.
You're right. You're not all that important to the overall cause. And where this thing falls apart, where most conspiracy theories fall apart, this is just my opinion, it involves too many people trying to control too many other people. The ones that I believe happened, and there's some pretty good documentation for it, talking about the government lying and doing these false stories. It was in that UFO documentary that J.J. Abrams, is that the director's name, did? A 4-part series. And at the end of it, they were talking about your Tom DeLonge story is what made me think of it, Fred. When it's get it out there that aliens exist, okay? There was a guy in New Mexico decades ago who was intercepting the government's and the military's radio signals they were sending up to Russian satellites to try and jam them. This guy thought they were coming the other way, though, and he contacts the military. He says, I think we're being contacted by aliens. And the government said, oh, crap, this guy knows that we're trying to jam the Russian satellites. What do we do? He said, tell him he's right. Tell him we're being contacted by aliens, and he'll keep quiet about it. Because otherwise, he's going to spread it around that we're jamming. Tell him he's part of this and that he's one of the few people who knows about it. And the guy, very sadly, ended up having a lot of mental health problems over the years because he thought he was truly doing the government's work by keeping this a secret, when all it was is he found out about this military operation. Same thing with the UFO stuff that Tom DeLonge was talking about. They said, here's a plausible explanation. It's actually a military aircraft that they're flying around, and said, how do we test this thing? Send it up against the world's best. Who's the world's best? U.S. Navy pilots. Send it up there. This is our own technology. Have it tested against that. And then how do we convince people it's not ours? We say it's a UFO. We go before Congress and say we don't know what this is. They know damn well what it is. It's their own stuff.
Well, you read the Tillman book. I mean, they created that whole Pat Tillman thing because it was friendly fire.
That's why I don't dismiss it entirely.
No, you can't.
No, there are conspiracies and there are ways that the government's lying to you, but not to this degree.
But I just wanted to know why wouldn't you just rig the election?
Right.
All right. There you go. All right. Well, there you have it. All right. When we come back, You've assembled something, Hardy, for my meet.
Well, we get offered guests all the time. We get offered guests all the time.
The Super Bowl is coming, whether a government conspiracy or not. The Super Bowl is coming.
We will be offered many more guests next week for the Super Bowl, but this is just a hodgepodge of guests. Some of them real, some of them not real. Fred, it'll be your job to determine for your consideration who you can actually consider and which one is the fake.
Am I being lazy, not going to Las Vegas and broadcasting from the hours of 3 to 7 in the morning? Is this my own laziness? Because the station's been like, please, can we take the expense and time and send you guys out there?
They don't want us to go.
No, they absolutely do not want us to go. But
we're being good company men and saying, okay, we won't go.
By you sitting in that chair, you saved them a lot of aggravation. All right, we'll be right back.